this past week, you sold the most expensive trading card ever in history, $16.49 million for the Pikachu Illustrator card.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to know, being in this house, this just absurd house, let's be real here. It's
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's in Puerto Rico. You have an amazing yard.
Thank you.
Everything is to a T. Why even do it? Why even sell the card? Does the money even make a difference?
That's a great question. I didn't know you were going to open with this. You'll find my brain takes a second to wake up. I find I'm always tired these days. Like I'm always tired. Okay. Why even do it? Okay, well, it's easy to say now, why even do it? You know, that you already have like everything you need, and that's so true. But I also spend a lot of money, and we did not know that it was going to sell for that much money.
No one had any idea.
What did you think it would sell for?
My guess was $10.7 million. That's what I was saying. And I felt confident in that guess. I felt confident it would hit $10.7 million. Even on Polymarket, the over-under for $16 million was, I think, like 10, 15%. So even traders on Polymarket weren't entirely sure about what this thing was going to sell for. And so now it's easy to look back and be like, oh, like $16 million card. Man, like it's an auction, guys. It's an auction. And it entirely depends on how much people are willing to pay for it. Why sell the card? I'm good at making money. I'm even better at spending money. Guys, I spend absurd amounts of money on things that I like are sometimes not good investments. I spent a lot of money on a wedding. And so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this house I just bought. Not cheap. And I'm like, man, the Pokemon market's popping. If there were ever a time to sell this card, it would be right now. Ken Golden, Maniac, gives me an insanely healthy offer, I thought. Invites me to his office. He says he's going to give me a $2.5 million cash advance and a cut of the entire overall Pokemon /TCG auction. I thought, okay, $2.5 million advance, 115% of the hammer price, which I'm gonna give you guys like shit that no one knows because I respect you and I like your podcast, and it's also like a financial podcast, and like I think that's
stuff I'm so into.
That's kind of the point of it, and I know you're into it. So 115% of the hammer price, which means I think the final bid was 13.3 million, if I'm not mistaken,
or 13.8, I believe it was something like that.
Something like that. That's 100%. So I get 115% of it. So on auction houses, they have what's called a buyer's premium. It's essentially the fee that the auction house takes for putting everything together, finding the bidders, finding the item, and just that's their finder's fee, if you will. The buyer's premium on my Pikachu Illustrator was 24%, which is high. That's high. But typically they're all like 20% anyways,
20.
which is high. I've always found that high. I'm a bidder at auctions, and when I'm bidding, I'm like an extra 20% like for the auction house. Like damn, but that's just the name of the game. That's the name of the game, and that's the magic of the auction, the model that is an auction. So the buyer's premium on my Pikachu Illustrator was 24%. Well, I got 15%, right? So 15%, the math is weird on this. If the buyer's premium was 24%, 15% of that went to me, plus an additional 4% of the entirety of the auction.
Okay. So every single person we talk to on YouTube, we always ask, who is winning? At the end of the day, like everyone looks at YouTubers' lives and like, wow, like that sounds incredible. Like 100%, by all means, like we live very, very lucky lives as YouTubers. But as YouTubers, you're always comparing yourself to someone else. It's human nature.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone looks at you and they always say, Logan Paul and Jake Paul are winning. And by winning, we mean like, regardless of whatever is happening in the world, you guys will stay on top in terms of popularity, in terms of money, in terms of family, in terms of like overall quality of life, the amount of opportunities, the connections, what you're doing in life. It is absurd how you stay winning. I'm just curious, what is the one thing you chalk all of that up to?
A lot of things come to mind when I want to answer that question. The most simple way I could answer that question is probably saying the answer is probably consistency. Consistency regardless of how you or others feel. And I mean that in the sense of if I wake up and I don't want to go to work or I don't want to go exercise, like I don't really care how I feel. I've made like a commitment to be great and I have these goals that I want to achieve. So like 99% of the time I'm still going to hit the gym or I'm going to go answer the emails. Contrarily, when I say how others feel, obviously like you guys are sitting with like a polarizing human being, and there's a lot of noise out there. Some of it warranted, a lot of it not warranted, but there's noise for everyone. How you or the people online feel about me is completely irrelevant to me. I don't care. I'm going to stay consistent and show up for myself, my family, and my goals every single day. I would bet on someone who is consistently good way more than I would bet on someone who is infrequently great. Consistency is everything.
If that answer bothers you, then I recommend looking inwards and seeing what is it? Because on paper, objectively, you are winning. And I 100% agree. Consistently good beats inconsistently great.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah.
For those that are listening right now that want to add consistency into their life, how do you do it? Like, what is the source of this motivation, even on days where you're not feeling
And
it?
do you think you were born with that?
Man, I don't know. Some things I'll definitely be like, yes, I think like I was genetically wired in that way. This way, I don't think so. I think I was conditioned this way by my parents, specifically my father. But it can be like learned. It can be influenced into someone. Like I say this a lot as well. Like allow yourself to be influenced and inspired by people. I don't think people do that enough. Like when they see someone online, it oftentimes feels like comparative, which is like you said, that's like a natural human condition. Like I see them doing something and I compare myself to them. Okay, that's fair. Maybe they're doing something that you envy or that you like. But for me, I allow that to inspire me. Okay, that's awesome. What can I learn from that person? So allow yourself to be inspired. But the answer to your question is, this is where it gets kind of hard. Bro, you gotta have discipline. You gotta be disciplined. And that is a difficult thing for a lot of people. Because to be disciplined, you have to have like a motivation that I'm not entirely sure where that always comes from. I can rationalize my motivations and why I'm so disciplined. But you have to be disciplined. I will say for me personally, and I found this as like a 14-year-old, being goal-oriented really helps. Having goals, like goals that you write down on a paper and that when you achieve them, you can take your pen and just cross it off the paper. Something about that to me is deeply fulfilling. You walk into my office over there and you'll see goals on a piece of paper with a few of them crossed out. And it's like goals, agenda items, things to do. Because I think when you vocalize your goals, B, write down your goals, C, visualize your goals, like you are what you attract. You really are what you attract. It's called manifestation is what I'm talking about. Some people call it prayer. I call it, it's kind of like, can be considered the same thing. But becoming goal-oriented, I think, is very important. And having discipline is absolutely essential for any amount of success.
A really scary truth is just how vulnerable your digital life is, and most people have no idea until it's too late, and then they're stuck spending several hours trying to solve a problem that they did not create. So don't be like my roommate Kevin, because I kid you not, his identity got stolen 2 years ago, and guess who's still paying for it? Me. Because the one thing he still can't recover is his Venmo.
See, the trouble with identity theft and fraud is that it doesn't happen all at once. And by the time you notice, usually the damage is done.
And that's exactly where our sponsor OmniWatch comes in. It catches problems early by keeping an eye on your identity, credit, financial accounts, and online activity altogether. And the best part is that setting it up only takes a few minutes, and then from there, it works quietly in the background all day, every day.
OmniWatch monitors your credit activity, data breaches, and the dark web using AI-powered detection tools tools that are able to spot suspicious activity in real time. If it finds something unusual, you get an alert that tells you exactly what happened and the next steps to take.
You can lock your credit, secure all of your accounts, and fight fraud with just one click. If identity theft does occur, OmniWatch connects you with US-based specialists to restore your identity and handle the damage with up to $2 million in identity theft insurance.
So head on over to omniwatch.com/iced to get 50% off of your first month and see for yourself if your information's actually secure.
Seriously, guys, the peace of mind is worth it. Protect your credit, identity, and online data today. Again, that is 50% off your first month at omniwatch.com/iced.